Thank you so much for staying with me along the way and waiting so patiently for this. But now, we're ready to rock. We're at the top 10, motherfuckers. As you would expect, these final 10 entries mean a lot to me as a Pokemon fan. And I don't want anyone else to be left out. Since I'm expressing my own favorites, why don't you do the same thing? I would really love to hear what some of your favorites are. So feel free to comment or make a video response. Doesn't that sound great? So sit back, grab a snack or something, and enjoy the rest of the video. But enough small talk. Let's finish this, damn it. Landing at number 10, we have the extremely adorable transport Pokemon, Lapras. Oh, come on. If you're a Pokemon fan, you have got to at least respect her. After all, Lapras is seen more of a form of transportation than anything else. From its actions, it would appear that Lapras is basically the camel of the sea, only a lot cuter. Lapras' main use to humans is to carry our lazy asses across the ocean for long periods of time. Poor Lapras. Feel kind of bad for her. Well, thankfully, Ash was very kind towards his Lapras. With a show of hands, who watching this liked Ash's Lapras from the anime? Don't bother, because I know for a fact that just about every Pokemon fan did. Obviously, I love Ash's Lapras. Whether I felt bad for her or not, she always made me smile for some unexplainable reason. I was actually very sad when Ash had to let her go. But to quote Fox, I guess that's that. Alright, let's move on to Lapras' numerous other traits. I enjoy just about every aspect about Lapras. Her appearance, her concept, her stats, and her behavior as well. Where to begin? Well, let's start with stats. Similar to many water types, Lapras is very, very well balanced. Her base stat total is 535, which is equivalent to most of the Sinnoh evolutions. That's definitely a good sign right there. Most of her stats are well-rounded, as you would expect, with her HP and special defense being the highest. Even though her greatest stat is HP, Lapras is far from useless. Her move pool is also far from shallow, being able to learn moves from Psychic and even Electric types. But most notably, Lapras has some killer egg moves. Through breeding, Lapras can learn a slew of good attacks, such as Ancient Power, Future Sight, Tickle, Dragon Dance, Horn Drill, and even Fissure. Wow, I love that moveset. Lapras should also get credited for being one of Veronica Taylor's favorite Pokemon, also known as Ash's original voice actress. That is respect. But to me, the greatest aspect about Lapras is her concept. Lapras is based on the fabled Loch Ness monster of Scotland, also known as Nessie. Both Nessie and Lapras are said to resemble the marine reptile known as the plesiosaur, an ancient Sauropterygian dinosaur from the early Jurassic period. Easily one of my favorite Pokemon concepts today. Although the plesiosaur is known for its predaceous hunting activity, Lapras is definitely not a ferocious predator. Just another gentle giant, I suppose. I don't blame Lorelei for having Lapras as her strongest Pokemon, as she's definitely one of the more memorable Pokemon from Generation 1. Without a doubt, my favorite ice type. At number 9, we have the only ghost type introduced in Generation 1, the menacing, haunting representative of the infamous Lavender Town, Gengar. As you know, I've already talked about Gengar when I did my top 10 ghost video games list, but it looks like I have to explain some more. Gengar is, in my opinion, the definitive ghost Pokemon. Some may argue against this and say that others like Cofagrigus are, but I obviously see otherwise. Before I get into the ghostly aspects of Gengar, let's go over his stats. Gengar's base stat total is 500, similar to that of Ampharos. Gengar makes for a very strong special sweep, with his speed reaching a maximum of 350, making him the fastest ghost type, along with Frostlass. Of course, Gengar's main focusing power is his special attack, which can reach a maximum of 394, the highest of all poison types. Gengar also has a unique typing. For 16 years, there have only been 3 ghost poison types, the Gengar line. I honestly would like to see another ghost poison type, but at the same time, I don't. After all, typing is what Gengar has over many other Pokemon. Well, on to concept. The main basis in which Gengar derives from is the mischievous ghost known as poltergeists. All Gengar does is haunt humans for its whole life, which is most likely for all eternity. Very mischievous. I like it. Let's be honest here, aside from missing number, Gengar was probably the scariest Pokemon from your childhood. While the original Red and Blue were my very first Pokemon game, I did play the shit out of Silver when I was about 8. Of course, my young mind wasn't aware of the mediocre mechanics at the time, but I still have very fond memories of it. Probably the most important memory that I have with it is Gengar himself. When I first saw Gengar, I nearly crapped myself. This was when I reached Morty and Mahogany Tower for the first time. Morty's Gengar was the first true menacing thing I ever saw in a Pokemon game, so you imagine how surprised I was when I saw Gengar. Ugh, that stare of his used to give me nightmares. Like I mentioned earlier, I feel as if Gengar symbolizes Lavender Town itself. I'm not sure why, really. Whenever I revisit Lavender Town today, I always feel as if Gengar is watching me the whole time. In fact, I once had a nightmare in which Gengar posed as the nurse from the Pokemon Center and destroyed my Pokemon rather than heal them. I'm not making that up. Gengar creeped me out so much that he led me to become so interested with the supernatural aspect of life. In a nutshell, Gengar is a creepy childhood memory of mine in which I'll never forget. Blastoise is, by far, my favorite Generation 1 starter Pokemon, as well as my all-time favorite water type. The hell with Charizard, Venusaur's alright, but Blastoise is my main man. Now, just because this is the 3rd Generation 1 Pokemon in a row, don't go thinking that all the rest of them are as well. In fact, Blastoise is the last Gen 1 Pokemon you're going to see on here, as he is actually my favorite Generation 1 Pokemon. Knowing me, you'd think that Generation 1 Pokemon have to be very special to be placed this high. Well, he is. I loved Blastoise from the day I saw him. Seriously, how can I begin to describe how awesome this thing is? First, let's start with his design. It's awesome. Blastoise is a giant aquatic turtle with water cannons tucked inside its very shell. That's as if Bowser decided to fuse himself together with Flood from Super Mario Sunshine and use them as if they were mortar cannons. How beastly is that? Blastoise, like any other starter, is very well balanced. Although he's more defensive than offensive, Blastoise has never failed me in the defensive department either. All around, Blastoise is the most defensive starter to date, even more so than Meganium and Empoleon. Blastoise's defense can reach a maximum of 328. Not too shabby, but Blastoise's greatest stat is special defense. Blastoise has the highest special defense of all starter Pokemon, which can reach a maximum of 339. Like I said, he's not too shabby in the slightest. I also find Blastoise's move pool to be pretty damn sweet, with moves like Skull Bash, Mirror Coat, Water Spout, Gyro Ball, Fake Out, and even Rapid Spin. Blastoise can learn a lot of moves unique among starter Pokemon. Not only that, but he's also able to learn my favorite move by level up, Flash Cannon. I guess those water cannons are more than meets the eye, huh? Speaking of that, Blastoise's water cannons are one of the most awesome features of any Pokemon, as well as the most famous. These water cannons are capable of firing jets of water so powerful that they are capable of punching holes through thick steel. To be honest, I was originally going to place Blastoise at a higher spot on this list, but then I realized that one of the main reasons I love Blastoise is because of nostalgia. Real quick, I want to tell you all a little story. When I first got Blue on Christmas of 2001, I I chose Squirtle the second I saw him. For the next 3 months, I became fused with my Game Boy. I loved Squirtle so much that I used him and him only. By the time I reached Koga in Fuchsia City, my Blastoise, or Pumper as I like to call him, was level 71. Final verdict, Blastoise is one of the most memorable Pokemon of Generation 1. He's just so awesome. You can never go wrong with turtles and water cannons, especially if they're put together. Oh, hell yeah. Now we're really getting the top 10 going. Up next is the Reptilian Berserker of the Forest, Sceptile. Sceptile is my favorite starter Pokemon ever. All of you who thought Blaziken was my favorite starter are probably thinking, what? I thought Blaziken was your favorite. Wrong. Yeah, Blaziken's ridiculously awesome, but Sceptile is just, wow. Sure, being called a forest lizard may not sound so cool, but trust me, this is no ordinary lizard. Known as the king of the forest, Sceptile is without peer in jungle combat. Sceptile's secret to his incredible fighting skills is thanks to his extreme agility. Sceptile's base stat total is 530, the highest out of any grass starter. Just like Electrode, Sceptile has a surprising amount of speed. Considering it's his greatest stat, Sceptile's speed is definitely one of the reasons why he's so deadly. Sceptile's speed carries a maximum of 372, the fastest of all starter Pokemon, and the fastest of all non-legendary grass types. Of course, with great speed comes great power. Right behind that absurdly high speed stat, Sceptile greatly excels in special attack as well. Sceptile's special attack carries a maximum of 339, making him very useful in the offensive department. Also, Sceptile's move pool is ridiculously good among grass starters. With his reptilian-like physique, Sceptile is able to learn a vast array of moves. With moves like Leaf Blade, Night Slash, Focus Blast, Bulldoze, Acrobatics, Crunch, Crush Claw, Dragon Pulse, Razor Wind, and even Hone Claws, Sceptile has the widest type coverage of any grass type, even outranking legendaries such as Celebi, Shaman, and Virizion. That is just plain ridiculous. Moving on to appearance, Sceptile just excels in visuals. First off, his tail looks like a giant pot leaf. You know what? Never mind what I said about Breloom. This is a stoner's best friend. Seriously, all you need to do is grab a leaf from that tail of his, and you'll be chilling with Palkia in no time. Oh, you having trouble lighting that one of yours? No problem. Just have Sceptile use Dragon Breath on it. Problem solved. Good God, what is it with me and drug jokes? Anyway, let's talk about those legendary arms of his. Just look at those Leaf Blades. Speaking of that, those blades on his wrists was how Leaf Blade became one of the best offensive grass type attacks. When this move was first introduced in Gen 3, it was Sceptile's signature move. But once Gen 4 was introduced, Leaf Blade became more powerful and was no longer Sceptile's signature move. It does give him less durability, but it's not a bad thing in the slightest. Lastly, just look at that stare. Sceptile is so badass that he can kill you with a single stare from those eyes. In the anime, Sceptile was always a very calm and placid individual. You can usually find him chewing on a twig and keeping to himself. Now that's what we call a casual Pokemon. But don't underestimate him, or else he'll make like crack and fuck you up. The best word to describe Sceptile is a ninja. He always remains calm, he's fast as hell, and he will kick your ass before you can even blink. Ending result, Sceptile is both my favorite starter as well as my favorite grass type ever. He's strong, swift, and overall a total beast altogether. At last, we come across probably the most anticipated contender for the glorious type that is Dragon. It's the extremely powerful, sky-high master of the famous weather trio. It's Rayquaza. Okay, right from the start, you knew that Rayquaza would show up on the list somewhere. And goddammit, he deserves to be. Being the legendary mascot of Pokemon Emerald, Rayquaza is a Pokemon that gets even more awesome as the series continues onward. No matter what game he appears in, I am always happy to see him. Much like Lugia, many fans see Rayquaza as being overrated. But I honestly don't agree in the slightest. And since he's the final trio master on this list, I feel as if Rayquaza deserves every microgram of the attention he gets. As you would expect from a legendary, Rayquaza has ridiculously high stats. And yes, that is beyond true. Rayquaza's base stat total is 680, with most of that being distributed into stupidly high offensive stats. Both of Rayquaza's attack stats are base 150. I know I've said this before, but that really is insane. His move pool allows him to have the most diverse move pool of any legendary dragon. To put it bluntly, he's quite possibly the strongest dragon type ever. That is saying something. Unlike most dragons, Rayquaza doesn't live in a cave or even at the bottom of the lake, except in Raw. He lives in a very ozone layer of all places. Rayquaza is said to have lived for hundreds of millions of years in the ozone layer of Hoenn, where he mercilessly defends his territory from all intruders. And doesn't that kick ass? Like his two legendary counterparts, Rayquaza is based upon Hebrew mythology. Just like Ramen was based on Behemoth and Kyogre based upon Leviathan, Rayquaza is based upon the legendary Ziz, the unconquerable primal master of the sky. Being a huge green dragon capable of negating weather effects, it's quite apparent that Rayquaza has a signature ability, Airlock. Airlock negates all weather effects on the battlefield. That's especially helpful if your opponent has a weather team. I should also mention that Rayquaza has the coolest Pokemon name I've ever heard. Rayquaza. Just saying it makes you feel awesome. Final verdict, Rayquaza is hands down my favorite dragon type, as well as my favorite flying type. With every new appearance Rayquaza gets, the more his popularity rises, which I find to be a very good thing, as I feel that everyone should at least like or respect Rayquaza. He is by far the definitive dragon type in the series, at least from my perspective, that is. But even though Rayquaza is awesome beyond belief, he is still only my second favorite Gen 3 Pokemon. What, you thought Rayquaza was my favorite Gen 3 Pokemon? Well, I hate to break it to you, but he's not. This is. Sweet Lord, I love this Pokemon. Deoxys is easily the most amazing Gen 3 Pokemon I've ever seen. Since the release of my top 10 aliens and video games list, I'm sure that all of you are getting at the fact that I love Deoxys. Well, no shit. Can you really blame me? Deoxys is just so intriguingly epic. Born from an alien viral mutation, Deoxys is hands down the definitive alien in Pokemon series, and he does a damn good job at it. With his alien-like genetic makeup, Deoxys is a Pokemon capable of changing into numerous forms and even regenerate its body if blown away by a powerful foe. That is sick. Speaking of the forms, that is obviously a topic that must be discussed. Deoxys has a total of 4 forms, and unlike most legendary form differences, Deoxys' stats are drastically altered with every form he changes into. The various forms that Deoxys shapes into result in the most powerful stats in Pokemon history. Attack form Deoxys is the ultimate sweeper, with both of its defensive stats reaching a maximum of 504, trumping both Mewtwo and Rampardos. While attack form Deoxys has the lowest defenses of any Pokemon, it's very, very, very fast. So make sure that you utilize his sweeping skills and don't try anything too reckless. Speed form Deoxys, with the exception of Sandrust Excadrill, is the fastest Pokemon ever. Once again, its speed stat reaching a maximum of 504. Speed form trumps even Ninjask, Exceldor, and even Electrode in terms of speed. Good lord. Defense form Deoxys outclasses even Lugia when it comes to defenses. In fact, defense form Deoxys has the highest defense and special defense of any psychic type. This thing rivals even even Shuckle. That is an achievement. Strangely enough, it's actually the most balanced of all of Deoxys' forms. Normal form Deoxys is supposed to be the most balanced out of the forms, but it's quite obvious that defense form is. There's also a very funny thing to note about its forms. Defense, normal, attack, and speed. In that order, it spells DNAs. Clever Game Freak is clever. Let's segue into its concept. Deoxys is based upon the medium of genetic code in minicellular organisms, deoxyribonucleic acid, otherwise known as DNA. This is a very unique concept. Unlike most legendaries, Deoxys is not based upon mythological creatures or urban legends. Instead, Game Freak decided to take a trip into biological elements and make him based on our very own genetic compound, and merge that with the literal representation of alien and the visual representations of a DNA double helix. That is beyond genius. Deoxys is amazing. With its multiple forms, ridiculous stats, ingenious concept, awesome battle theme, and overall design, Deoxys has well earned the number 5 spot on this top 100. Without a doubt, my favorite Generation 3 Pokemon to date. Oh, moth Pokemon, why are you so bland and generic? Why can't Game Freak make any good moth Pokemon? Not bad, I guess. Okay, I'm getting sick of this. Gen 5 has a new moth Pokemon as well? Well, might as well take a look. Holy shit, smacking Smeargles. Now that's how you make a good moth Pokemon. Being the aptly named Sun Pokemon, Volcarona is a 5-foot-tall, volcanic bug with an incredible concept and even more incredible stats. The first glaring aspect about Volcarona is its appearance and typing. Volcarona is one of the only 2 bug fire types in the entire franchise. I'm sure I'm not alone when I say this, but I never expected there to be a bug fire type. But thank God, Black and White came along and said, let's blow their fucking minds, add some kick-ass design choices, make it a moth, and bam, it's Volcarona. In addition to having the unique typing, Volcarona has one of the most ingenious concepts of any Pokemon I have ever seen. The insect that Volcarona is based off of is the largest moth in the world, the Atlas moth. But that wasn't enough for Game Freak. Oh no, they took the concept of an Atlas moth and merged it with that of a solar deity, a type of god said to be able to control various aspects of the sun, such as sunrise, sunset, eclipses, and even position. In fact, Volcarona's flames are so special that it is said that its fires can replace the sun when it eventually becomes dark with ash. See right there, genuine fanboys? One single Pokemon from Generation 5 took more creativity than your entire generation. You see, now that's a good fire type. Let's move on to statistics. Volcarona has the highest special attack out of all bug Pokemon, reaching a maximum of 405. Not only that, but Volcarona's other stats are very good as well. Volcarona's special defense rivals that of both Cofagrigus and Mesprit, and its speed rivals both Staraptor and Salamence. Volcarona is even more awesome when you consider its ridiculously superb move pool. In combination with being able to learn Hurricane and Quiver Dance, a move that raises special attack, special defense, and speed, Volcarona also has a signature move, Fiery Dance. Fiery Dance is a move that inflicts damage and has a 50% chance of raising the user's special attack. And given Volcarona's ridiculous special attack, that is something you mustn't fuck with. Volcarona's stats are so good that it might as well be a legendary. In fact, why not replace Genesect and give Volcarona legendary status? I mean, come on, Volcarona is more unique and is very capable of taking it down with one move. Not to mention, Volcarona is also an interactable Pokemon in the Relic Castle, and unlike Genesect, it's actually been released. Well, I guess that's beside the point. In addition to all the previous compliments, Volcarona is a real bitch to level up. Its pre-evolution Larvesta doesn't evolve until level 59, making them the largest gap between evolutions, even outclassing Dragonite and Hydreigon. It takes a while, but evolving Larvesta from an egg is all worthwhile at the end. Believe me, I've done it twice. Simply put, you just can't go wrong with Volcarona. Take note, Game Freak, I now expect better moth Pokemon from here on out. With its awesome appearance, the ingenious concept, the unique type combination, and its amazing stats, Volcarona is hands down my favorite Generation 5 Pokemon, as well as my all-time favorite fire type. There is very little to argue against it, but Volcarona is simply stunning. Bravo, Gen 5. Bravo, I say. To start off the top 3, we have the lean, valiant, and undeniably tough master fencer of the Sinnoh region, Gallade. Gallade is an awesome Pokemon. I'm sure everyone can agree with me on that. Seriously, everyone should have a Gallade in their collection. Giving a male Curly a Dawnstone is easily one of the smartest decisions. What does this choice do? It gives you what is arguably the most kick-ass fighting and psychic type ever. Being the male counterpart to Gardevoir, Gallade makes for one of the most unique fighting types to date. Like, I'm serious, man. This Pokemon is truly one of a kind. All you Gardevoir fans are probably shaking your heads at me right now thinking, oh, come on, it's nothing more than a physically offensive Gardevoir. Well, actually, that's correct. Statistically, Gallade is nothing more than a physically offensive Gardevoir. Look, I don't have anything against Gardevoir in the slightest. I just find Gallade to be better in every category. Likewise with Gardevoir, Gallade's offense can reach a maximum of 380 HP. Yes, that number again. Not only are his defensive stats very good, but his special defense rivals Scrappy for being the highest special defense out of all non-legendary fighting types. Gallade's special defense can reach a maximum of 361. That rivals even Suicune. It may be odd, but this is what makes Gallade such a damn good fighting type. Most fighting types have very good offense, but horrible defenses. That is one of the best things about Gallade. While you're kicking some serious ass on the battlefield, you don't have to worry about dying so damn easy. Just to show you Gardevoir fans even more, I'm gonna have to go into their move pools. Gallade can learn just about any move that Gardevoir can, and even more. If you include the moves he learned from 4th Gen Move Tutors, Gallade can have type coverage for 14 of the 17 types. Not only that, but Gallade can learn 5 moves with an above average chance of inflicting a critical hit, more so than any other Pokemon. Let's move on to appearance and behavior. Being a Pokemon consisting of only males, Gallade is a noble swordsman that can chop you in half faster than you can say, oh shit. Yet, despite his strength, Gallade actually protects Pokemon that have no means of defense. That is a noble swordsman right there. I'm not kidding when I say that Gallade even rivals Meta Knight. Speaking of which, that gives me a great idea. Gallade for Super Smash Bros. 4. Aside from Fawful, Gallade is my most wanted fighter for Super Smash Bros. I mean, seriously, wouldn't it be dope if Gallade and Meta Knight could clash sword to sword? Seriously, how? I don't care if you have to replace Zoroark or even Mario. Make this badass a swordsman in your fighting game. Do it, damn it. Gallade is also one of the coolest fighting Pokemon I've seen in a long time. Seriously, let's take a good look at Gallade. His arms resemble swords, his head looks like a Spartan helmet, and that skin of his just screams, come at me, bro. Gallade is both my favorite psychic type and my favorite fighting type. To end this entry off, I'll share a little more with all of you. You don't fuck with Gallade. This Pokemon. This fucking fucking Pokemon is the undefeated king of the insects. At number 2, we have the Pokemon that puts all bug types into the ground. At long last, we have Scizor, my favorite bug type, favorite steel type, and my favorite Generation 2 Pokemon ever. I'm sure that many of you are actually confused about this. Prior to the mind blow that this entry just gave you, everyone was expecting Scizor to be number 1 on here. Even I said with my own mouth that Scizor was my favorite Pokemon. Little did you know that I've been misleading you all along. I mean, come on. Like I would really tell you my absolute favorite Pokemon is right there, especially when I had a list coming along that was extremely hyped. Anyway, back to Scizor. There are very few words that can sum up how much I fucking love Scizor. Like the previous 98 entries, it is very hard for me to describe why I like Scizor so damn much. But I'll do my very best. The very first time I saw a Scizor, I just knew, holy shit, that Pokemon will be mine. There's an awful lot that can be said about Scizor. I could talk for hours about him. But for the sake of not boring my audience to death, let's make it just a few minutes. Now, be warned, I am a bit of a Scizor fanboy, so please acknowledge that I'm going to sound unbelievably stupid and arrogant. You ready? Alright, first let's talk about his appearance. Scizor is hands down the coolest looking Pokemon I've ever seen. With that head, the eyes, those wings, those badass pincers. Before I have a muscle spasm, let's continue on to statistics. Okay, I know what all of you are thinking right now. Scizor has the exact same base stat total as his pre-evolution. So, it's a damn good stat group. Scizor has better attack and better defense than Scyther in exchange for what? Less speed? Whatever. Not to mention, Scizor has a much better typing than Scyther. With steel properties added to Scizor, he now has 6 more resistances in him, and he's only weak against one type, fire. That is a tough insect. Excluding Escavalier, Scizor is the placeholder for the highest attack stat of all bug Pokemon, even trumping the legendary Genesect. Scizor's attack can reach a maximum of 394. Jeez, by this point, I've lost my sanity. So, I'm doing the unthinkable. I'm about to pull an Egoraptor on all of you and just gush right now. I'm just gonna fucking... Dude, wasn't fucking awesome when Scizor poses the red lightning and wore that badass cloak? That was so... Yeah, that wasn't neat how you can, like, teach your Scizor bullet punch, like, punch shit. I mean, wasn't the best getting X-Scissor and then, like, trashing your opponent, like, look at spam. Yeah, fuck you. It's fucking brilliant. It's amazing. God. Well, now that all that excitement is over, here is the ultimate question. What is my favorite Pokemon ever? If it's not Scizor, then what in the world could it be? Well, since most of you have forgotten at least a few entries, and the fact that I want to add more suspense, let's recap this monster. Number 100, Murkrow. Number 99, Jirachi. Number 98, Bulbasaur. Number 97, Steel. Number 96, Bronzong. Number 95, Electro. Number 94, Satu. Number 93, Haldor. Number 92, Floatzel. Number 91, Crustle. Number 90, Roserade. Number 89, Kingdra. Number 88, Breloom. Number 87, Munchlax. Number 86, Duskblade. Number 85, Frostlass. Number 84, Absol. Number 83, Typhlosion. Number 82, Nidoking. Number 81, Poliwrath. Number 80, Milotic. Number 79, Rhyperior. Number 78, Hitmontop. Number 77, Snarly. Number 76, Gigalith. Number 75, Octillery. Number 74, Scolipede. Number 73, Maractus. Number 72, Dusknoir. Number 71, Armaldo. Number 70, Excel. Number 69, Ninetales. Number 68, Yanmega. Number 67, Gliscor. Number 66, Slacky. Number 65, Torterra. Number 64, Croagunk. Number 63, Fisher. Number 62, Untail. Number 61, the Scrafty-Line. Number 60, Groudon. Number 59, Furret. Number 58, Electros. Number 57, Dragonite. Number 56, Victini. Number 55, Zangoose. Number 54, Rotom. Number 53, Surskit. Number 52, Zekrom. Number 51, Weavile. Number 50, Serperior. Number 49, Heracross. Number 48, Reuniclus. Number 47, Kira. Number 46, Sandslash. Number 45, Crocodile. Number 44, Arcanine. Number 43, Palkia. Number 42, Growlithe. Number 41, Metagross. Number 40, Crobat. Number 39, Pikachu. Number 38, Zoroark. Number 37, Porygon Z. Number 36, Magmar. Number 35, Mesprit. Number 34, Galvantula. Number 33, Togekiss. Number 32, Hydreigon. Number 31, Giratina. Number 30, Coppertops. Number 29, Sableye. Number 28, Mewtwo. Number 27, Venusaur. Number 26, Manectric. Number 25, Ferrothorn. Number 24, Entei. Number 23, Staraptor. Number 22, Kyogre. Number 21, Regigigas. Number 20, Lugia. Number 19, Chandelure. Number 18, Latios. Number 17, Blaziken. Number 16, Magnezone. Number 15, Mew. Number 14, Slowking. Number 13, Flygon. Number 12, Excadrill. Number 11, Ampharos. Number 10, Lapras. Number 9, Gengar. Number 8, Blastoise. Number 7, Sceptile. Number 6, Rayquaza. Number 5, Deoxys. Number 4, Volcarona. Number 3, Gallade. And number 2, Scizor. So, here we are. We're at number 1 now. My favorite Pokemon ever. In order for a Pokemon to top this gargantuan list, I have to like it in the anime, like its concept, and like its battle capabilities more so than any other. Who's that Pokemon?
Everyone's forgotten about this valley.
The epic return of Yellowstone, premiering tonight at 8 on the Unpaired Network.
At Kroger Pharmacy, care is what's most convenient for you. Care is staying open evenings.
Darkrai. Surprised? That's good. I've been keeping this a secret for so long, but now I can finally say what I think. Darkrai is my favorite Pokemon ever. No other Pocket Monster has appealed to me more than Sinnoh's own pitch black nightmare deity. So why did I choose Darkrai as my favorite? Well, I'll soon get to that. Let's start off with concept. Darkrai is a haunting shadow-like being, capable of giving nightmares to any living organism with a single cast of its signature move, Dark Void. He's like a ghostly Freddy Krueger. I love it. Second, Darkrai is a force of nature on the battlefield. His stats are amazing. His special attack rivals that of Porygon Z and Mewtwo, and his speed rivals that of Weavile. His move pool is very similar to Mewtwo's. He can learn pretty much any move that Mewtwo can, in combination with some devastating dark type moves. Also, Darkrai is the only, I repeat, only Pokemon with the ability Bad Dreams. This ability drains the health of any sleeping Pokemon on the battlefield. That's awesome. If a Darkrai manages to put you asleep, you are absolutely screwed. Lastly, the main reason why I came to love Darkrai so much. It was his role in the 10th movie, The Rise of Darkrai. Throughout the movie, Darkrai was labeled as an evil Pokemon by all the denizens of Alamos Town, even though Darkrai meant no harm to anyone whatsoever. In the past, a lone Darkrai stumbled into Alamos Town's garden in a gravely injured state. His injuries were probably caused by Pokemon who thought that he was a threat. Alice's grandmother, Alicia, saw what happened to Darkrai and decided to help the poor thing. She then healed his soul with a beautiful melody called Arasion and welcomed Darkrai into the garden. Years later, that same Darkrai was still living in the same garden and still receiving heat from the inhabitants of Alamos Town. When Dialga and Palkia started fighting in close proximity to the town, the dimensions were becoming so constrained that the entire fabric of space and time were starting to disintegrate. Fearing that he would lose his beloved home and his only friend, Darkrai protected Alamos Town with his life. He attempted to stop both creation deities from decimating pretty much all of existence. As the fight goes on, both Dialga and Palkia start to gang up on Darkrai. He fought all he could, but not even the strongest Pokemon can survive both Roar of Time and Spatial Rend, especially at the same time. To the viewer's dismay, Darkrai's body ends up getting destroyed by the enormous blast. Let me get this straight. Darkrai, a Pokemon that was appalled by the entire town, risked his life for all those who live there. That, to me, shows just how deep of a Pokemon Darkrai is. He is the definitive proof that Pokemon can possess feelings, integrity, and even human spirit, regardless of how people feel about it. And that is why Darkrai is my favorite Pokemon of all time. It's not because he's a legendary. It's because of how well they show the emotional aspects of Darkrai, rather than just his power. Some of you might think what I'm saying is beyond corny, but this is no exaggeration. I truly feel this way. Some people believe that Pokemon is not supposed to be deep in any sense. But after seeing Darkrai's tragic and beautiful story of desperation, I honestly don't see why not. Darkrai's actions are unlike any character I've ever seen, and this applies to all media. Not only did he change my outlook on Pokemon, but he also changed my outlook on life itself. I'm serious, he means an awful lot to me. He showed me that even something commonly seen as nothing more than a fighting tool can in fact be a beautifully deep and wondrous piece of writing. And that is something no other Pokemon or figure can ever replicate. He's original, he's powerful, and unfathomably memorable for his nightmare abilities and all his valiant deeds. I am Fawfuls Minion, and Darkrai is by far my favorite Pokemon ever. He's more than a Pokemon. He's a hero. He's my hero.
Very nice.